if you're into holistic health and natural medicine, chances are you'll be ridiculed, you'll be laughed at, made fun of, you'll be rejected by your peers, your coworkers, your friends, your family, your neighbors. Welcome to the club. I remember when I was first getting into this profession back in chiropractic school, quarter one, and when I was learning a technique called applied kinesiology, which is muscle testing, and it assessed the body from a physical, biochemical, and emotional point of view. And I thought it was the most fascinating thing ever, because I've never seen anything like this before, and I saw how powerful it can be to help other people. Yet practicing it felt like a crime, because you were constantly ridiculed by your classmates, by your professors in front of class. I mean, called out, and by your, and for your own peers to, in your own profession, to do that to you, it felt really strange. I mean, you were the black sheep. So I remember going through, and when I finished college, chiropractic college, I had gone through like over 70 seminars. These are weekends, 3-day weekends, 4-day weekends, seminars, conferences that other doctors would put on, that experts in the field would teach, all about holistic health, different techniques, different ways of treating the body. And these are all things that were outside of the curriculum, so they cost anywhere from like $200 to couple $1,000 to take these seminars. And so I spent a lot of time and money, learning different ways to help people and to add more tools to the toolbox. So when people ask me, did you learn about all of this in school? I go, no. In fact, I learned most of my stuff outside of school. I had great mentors. I seeked, other things. Yet when you went back to school, it felt like it was such a weird place, because it was like, you all you wanted to do was help people and add value. Yet you were ridiculed, and you were called names, and you were made fun of because you thought differently. You wanted an alternative method to what was being taught. You wanted to do things differently. So, people thought that, they just knew it all. And all that there is that we know is all that there really is. And how arrogant is that? How limited thinking is that? So what really makes it worth it for me is when I get, every day when I get patients who come in and they say, hey, like I'm so glad I found you. I'm so glad that, so-and-so referred me here. I was able to get help. You've helped my family. You've helped me. My conditions are better or reversed. All these types of crazy stories where, miracles happen literally every day. Just watching people progress in their health journey. I mean, just the most bizarre things where you just go like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. This was worth it. It was worth all the emotional heartache. I would do it all over again, and then more, like double it up. I'm willing to do it, because when you see people who come in and they tell you about how badly they're suffering, it's pretty mind-blowing, because you try to put yourself in their shoes and you try to understand what they're going through, and the level of pain that people go through is crazy. I can't even imagine it. And the taste of that pain that I've ever got, I've never went through something like that, but I got a taste of that indirectly when I remember back in second quarter in chiropractic school, when my dad had multiple organ failure. He had sepsis. He already had cirrhosis for like over 10 years, and we had been managing him. Anyways, he got like food poisoned, and he was really sick. Went to the hospital. This was on Valentine's Day, I remember. And I got a call saying, hey, your dad's in the hospital, and like he got sick and he fainted. And so I went home, drove home about an hour from San Jose to San Francisco, and I went home and I went to the hospital. I remember he was still awake, and he was really agitated. He was just really uncomfortable, and he wanted to go home, but we were like, hey, look, obviously there's something going on. You have an infection, you had sepsis, like you were put on antibiotics, and then like just in a matter of hours, every hour that went by, his condition worsened and worsened and worsened, to the point where he was just, I watched him, I watched his lungs fail, and he couldn't breathe, and his kidneys were failing on him. His heart was failing. It was a tough thing for me to go through, and that was a tough time. But ultimately, it was a miracle that he not only survived, but he bounced back, got a liver transplant, and recovered, rehabilitated, got better, and now he's thriving. It's truly a miracle. But I remember that level of pain that I went through. I was like, people don't have to go through that. People don't have to go through that. To go through chronic disease and illness, and to wait until they are sick enough, and then they intervene. I mean, people don't have to go through that. So when I hear about stories, when I hear about people having miracle stories about their health journey, about their condition getting better, about their symptoms resolving, it's really rewarding, and it really heals me at a very deep level when I hear that. It really reassures in what I do, and I'm really happy with the people, the quality of people who I've met, and the practitioners, the doctors, the holistic practitioners out there who are doing the work, who are fighting the battle every day, who are constantly learning new ways of helping their patients, who are not afraid to be weird. And I want to acknowledge those practitioners. They're really inspiring, and those people have inspired me to be the best that I can be and learn all that I can to help these people, and to really not be afraid of what people think of me, and go, hey, look, this is the truth. This is what we got to do. You know why? Because I've seen it, other people have seen it, and we know this stuff works regardless what the science says. So for all the families out there, for all the parents out there who are doing the hard work, unsubscribing their kids from the system, pulling their kids out and homeschooling their kids, feeding their kids a healthy diet and living a lifestyle in a healthy way, doing things very differently from the mainstream culture, not giving them experimental therapies in their bodies. I mean, all this stuff is not easy. So I want to acknowledge these parents for doing so and making such a big difference in their life, truly life-changing. So I got to remember every time someone comes in and tells me how happy they are with their progress, it truly is very healing to me, and it gives me so much energy and it fuels my purpose. And I go, this is really what I was meant to do in the world. This is how I add value to people's lives and help them. So keep on keeping on, and let's keep on fighting the good fight.